A deadly drive-by shooting raises concerns about teen safety and what role parents play when it comes to unsupervised house parties. News 8's Heather Hope joins us now live from La Jolla, where a memorial continues to grow for a 20-year-old woman who was killed during a party over the weekend. Heather?
And we're right in front of the Prince AME Chapel, where the party started in the back apartment for the original address and then spilled out into Cuvier Street. And now you can see there are chalk paintings of hearts as well as peace signs over what used to be blood stains that spilled all down the street going up until Pearl Street until Sunday. And so now it's the police who we talked to pushing the reminder for parents and community members to be vigilant, to stop underage parties where there are alcohol and drugs.
When I woke up in the morning, there were blood stains all the way down my street.
La Jolla resident Stephanie Freeman recounting the chaos she saw unfold in front of her home Sunday morning following a huge party.
I heard the screaming and I thought it was an event at Bishop's for a while, and then I heard the gunshots.
San Diego police say 4 young people were shot when someone opened fire on the crowd, wounding 3 men and killing 20-year-old Nina Silver. Freeman used colored chalk to draw hearts where there was once bloodstains.
We're finishing up here, which is unfortunately where Nina Silver was killed. And this is just to honor her and the kids who were victims of violence. And
the party invitation posted on Snapchat got widespread attention.
Snapchat, people all over the world knew about this party. It was a big scene, and people were probably drunker or more stoned than I've ever seen them before.
The party serving as a reminder to San Diego's social host ordinance, making it illegal to provide an environment where underage drinking takes place.
We just need people to take responsibility to make sure they're doing everything they can to prevent those under 21 from consuming alcohol.
Punishment includes a misdemeanor charge, as a citation could be issued to the adult responsible. With school out, police are on alert.
In my experience, yeah, the summertime is when you tend to see a little bit more of the parties that are going on.
Lieutenant Sean Takeuchi says it takes involvement from the entire community to prevent underage drinking and substance abuse. This as the suspect responsible for Sunday's deadly shooting has not been caught. A GoFundMe for Nina Silver has raised more than its $8,000 goal.
I didn't want to see people going by this tragic area without acknowledging it.
And we did receive a statement from the adjacent Bishop School, which reads, no members of the community or the Bishop School community were involved in the tragedy. And they also say that their hearts and thoughts and prayers go to everyone involved in this horrendous tragedy. Now, they do rent their property from the adjacent church, the Prince AME Chapel, who also rents out that 7519 property where the party was believed to have been held. I'll send it back to you.
Thanks, Heather. Police still have not released a suspect description. Investigators plan to review surveillance video from the Bishop School. As Heather mentioned, it's very much nearby.